أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم. The topic of my Quranic lesson today is going to be on the names of Al-Quran, Ismaul Quran. Ism, which we usually translate as name, that's a good translation. But if you look at the classical Arabic dictionaries, we realize that the word ism basically means attributes. It also means characteristics. Attributes and characteristics. It also means powers. The names of Allah, as we say, are the attributes of Allah, are the characteristics and powers of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Similarly, when we say Ismaul Quran, we are talking about the attributes of Al-Quran, the characteristics and powers of Al-Quran. Sometimes we say names of Al-Quran. So in my presentation today, inshallah, we are going to discuss some of the names of Al-Quran as mentioned in Al-Quran itself. In my limited study of Al-Quran, I have been able to identify about 31 names of Al-Quran. 31 major attributes and characteristics of Al-Quran. You can call it names of Al-Quran, you can call it powers of Al-Quran, you can call it attributes and characteristics of Al-Quran. So I'm going to highlight some of these names of Al-Quran. The first name which I have identified in Al-Quran is Al-Zikr. The Holy Quran is named as Al-Zikr. So Al-Zikr is one of the names or attributes of Al-Quran. What does this word Al-Zikr basically means? If we look into the meanings of Al-Zikr, it says it means remind, the book which reminds. Al-Zikr. So Al-Quran is the book which reminds the truth. It also means which makes provisions for eminence, fame, and honor. These are some of the dictionary meanings of the word Al-Zikr. So Al-Quran is called Al-Zikr. That means this book, Al-Quran, reminds the truth and makes provisions for eminence, fame, and honor. Just a point of reflection. If we are interested in eminence, we are interested in being honored. If we are interested in fame, in the good sense of the word, then the book which is going to make provisions for us for eminence, fame, and honor is called Al-Zikr. That's the name of Al-Quran. That's the power of Al-Quran. That's the attribute of Al-Quran or characteristics of Al-Quran. The second name which I have identified is from chapter 25, verse 1. This word is Al-Furqan. That's the name of the Holy Quran, Al-Quran. Now, what does this word Al-Furqan means? It means the book which distinguishes between the right and the wrong. So Al-Quran is Al-Furqan, is called Al-Furqan. So that is the attribute of Al-Quran, that the book which distinguishes between the right and the wrong. So that is Al-Quran. Another name is Al-Hikmah. Al-Hikmah. This name is mentioned in chapter 17, verse 39. Al-Hikmah, the book of wisdom. The book of wisdom. Wisdom is the meaning of Hikmah. So another name or another attribute of the Holy Quran is Al-Huda. Al-Huda. This word is mentioned in chapter 72, verse 13. The book which is called Al-Huda. Al-Huda basically means the book which guides and makes one attain the goal. The book which guides and makes one attain the goal, the ultimate goal, the noble goal. If we are interested in identifying noble goals and then trying to attain those goals, then we have to take the help of the powers of Al-Quran, because this is the book called Al-Huda, the book which guides and makes one attain the goal. Another power, another attribute, another name of Al-Quran is Al-Mubarak. Al-Mubarak, the book of blessings. Al-Mubarak. Al-Mubarak, full of blessings. This name is mentioned in chapter 6, verse 92. Chapter 6 of Al-Quran, verse 92. Al-Mubarak, the book full of blessings. Al-Musaddiq. Al-Musaddiq, the book which confirms the truth. Basically, Al-Musaddiq means which confirms. So, Al-Quran is called Al-Musaddiq, the book which confirms the truth. Not only the ultimate truth, but the truth of previous scriptures as well. Al-Musaddiq. This is chapter 6, verse 92 as well. Another name of Al-Quran is Al-Mukarrama. Al-Mukarrama, the honored, Al-Mukarrama, the honored book. Al-Mukarrama, the honored book. So this is chapter 80, verse 13. Another name is Al-Aziz. Al-Aziz, the invincible. Al-Aziz, the mighty. Al-Aziz, the invincible book with the mighty message. Al-Aziz. chapter 41, verse 41. Another name, Al-Hukm. Al-Hukm, chapter 13, verse 37. Al-Hukm, clear judgment. The Quran as a clear judgment. So that's the attribute of the Holy Quran or the glorious Quran. Another beautiful name of the Holy Quran is Ash-Shifa. Ash-Shifa, which heals. Ash-Shifa, which heals. So the Holy Quran is the book, the perfect book which heals. Which heals whatever disease or diseases we have in our hearts. So Al-Quran is called Al-Shifa. This is chapter 10, verse 57. Chapter 10 of Al-Quran, verse 57. Another name mentioned in Al-Quran about Al-Quran is Al-Tanzil. Al-Tanzil, the revelation. The revelation from the Lord. The revelation. Al-Tanzil. That's the name of the Holy Quran. The revelation from the Lord, the revelation from the Rabbul Alameen, Al-Tanzil. That is chapter 26, verse 192. In chapter 2, verse 105, the name is Al-Rahmah. Al-Rahmah, full of mercy. The book full of mercy. Al-Quran is the book full of mercy. Al-Ruh. Al-Ruh is another name, another power. The book which gives life and is living. Al-Ruh. Al-Quran is called Al-Ruh. The book which gives life and is living. Al-Bayan. Now this name Al-Ruh is mentioned in chapter 42, verse 52. Chapter 42, verse 52, the name Al-Ruh is mentioned. Next name, Al-Bayan. Al-Bayan, which is chapter 3, verse 138. Al-Bayan, the book which is clear. Al-Bayan is a book which is clear exposition and which explains all things. So Al-Quran is Al-Bayan. The Holy Quran is a clear exposition and which explains all things. That's why it's named Al-Bayan. Another beautiful name, Al-Nema. Al-Nema. Now this name or attribute is mentioned chapter 93, verse 11. The book Al-Nema, the book full of favors and blessings of Allah. Al-Nema means full of favors and blessings. So Al-Quran is the book full of favors and blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So these are the powers, these are the attributes, these are the characteristics of the Holy Quran, Al-Quran. Another beautiful name is Al-Burhan. Al-Burhan, which is chapter 4, verse 175. Al-Burhan, which means clear and sound argument and reasoning. Al-Burhan, the book with clear and sound argument and reasoning. What an attribute. What the beautiful name of Al-Quran. Another beautiful attribute, Al-Qayyim. Al-Qayyim. Al-Qayyim basically means the book which is the maintainer and is rightly guiding. This is chapter 18, verse 2. The next name, Al-Muhaimin. Al-Muhaimin, which is chapter 5, verse 48. The guardian. It means the guardian. So Al-Quran is the guardian. Al-Nur. Al-Nur, the light. So Al-Quran is the light sent down by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Chapter 7, Al-Nur is mentioned in chapter 7, verse 157. Al-Haq. Al-Haq. Quran is Al-Haq. Quran is the ultimate truth. That's the name. Al-Haq, the name of Al-Quran. It's chapter 17, verse 81. Another attribute, Hablillah. Hablillah, which is chapter 3, verse 103. Hablillah, the covenant of God. Al-Quran is the covenant of God, or the means of access to Allah. That's what Hablillah basically means. The rope of Allah, sometimes we say rope of Allah, basically it means the rope of Allah means the covenant of Allah or the means of access to Allah. Hablillah, that's the name of Al-Quran as well. It is also called Al-Mubin. Al-Mubin, which explains. Chapter 12, verse 1. Al-Mubin. Al-Mubin, the book which explains itself or which explains its teachings. That is called Al-Mubin. So, let me give you a few more here. Al-Marfu', the exalted. The exalted. Now, this is chapter 80 of Al-Quran, chapter 80, verse 14. Al-Marfu'. Basically, the leaves or the pages of Al-Quran are called Al-Marfu', the exalted pages of Al-Quran. Al-Mutahhara. Same chapter 80, verse 14. The pages of Al-Quran are called Al-Mutahhara, the purified. So Al-Quran or the pages of Al-Quran are the purified pages. So Al-Quran is purified, the purified. Al-Ajab, wonderful, uniquely wonderful. This is chapter 72, verse 1. Quranun Ajaba. Quranun Ajaba. This Quran is wonderful, uniquely wonderful. Chapter 72, verse 1. I'm going to finish with the last three names of Al-Quran. Al-Karim. It's called Al-Karim, the holy. Quran al-Karim, the Holy Quran. Chapter 56, verse 77. That is for Al-Karim, the Holy Quran. Next name, Al-Majid. Al-Majid, the glorious Quran. The glorious Quran. This is chapter 50, verse 1. Quran al-Majid, the glorious Quran. That's the name of the noble book, Al-Quran. last name I like to mention here, which is from chapter 36, verse 2. Al-Hakim, the book full of wisdom. Quran al-Hakim is called Quran al-Hakim, the book full of wisdom. So all these names which I have mentioned are attributes and characteristics and powers of Al-Quran. So I like to finish here my lesson today. Inshallah, we make dua, supplication to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make this Quran with all these powers, all these attributes, all these characteristics, make this Quran a blessing for all of us, all over the world. Ameen. Summa Ameen. Assalamu